Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and in this video we are going to do dominant 7 arpeggios hand separately in the key of G major. So that means G is our tonic or our 1 chord, and so D is our dominant and D7 would be our dominant 7. So we'll do these arpeggios. This video is going to cover hand separately only, and we'll do 3 octaves, but all inversions. So the first thing I like to do is find out which notes are in the dominant 7 chord. So if this is our scale, what I like to do is use diatonic chords which are made up of those scale tones I just played, and we'll just walk up to the 5. So start with 1, G major 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm only using those G major scale notes. So the 5 chord in the key of G is D, and this is your D7. So the notes are So, Ti, Re, Fa, or D, F sharp, A, C. In the video, I'll be using both solfege and note names interchangeably, so you can kind of get used to both. So in this video, we're going to cover all 4 inversions of this chord for the arpeggio. So this is what's called root position, the one that I just found by walking up the scale. That's root position. Its name, D, is the bottom note. And we get the different positions by switching the notes around. So first inversion, we're going to put the D on top. Second inversion, we're going to put the F sharp on top. Third inversion, we're going to put the A on top, and then we're back to root. So before we go through the actual arpeggios, I just want to acknowledge that dominant 7 arpeggios are difficult. Your hand is all stretched out, you're trying to fold under, you have large intervals, there's a second in there sometimes, so they're tricky. So just be patient with yourself as you go through these and do your best. In this video, I will offer you 2 ways of fingering these, and I'd encourage you to try both, because at some time or another, you're going to have D7 arpeggios in a piece of repertoire. And I'll also say now that there's other ways to finger the arpeggios. These aren't the only 2 ways. These are just what I've usually taught with my students over the last several years. So we're going to start with the right hand. The way I like to teach arpeggios is by blocking the notes together, or play them at the same time in between where the thumb is coming underneath. That's blocking, like that. So way number 1 for the fingering is keeping the same fingering no matter what your starting point is. So if we're in root, we're going to start with 1 and then fold. If we're in first inversion, we're going to start with 2 and so forth. So for this way of fingering, every time you play D, it's either going to be with your thumb, or 5, it's at the end. Every time you play an F sharp, it's going to be with 2, A with 3, and C with 4. Now let's start with the blocking, root position. So we've got 1, block, 2, 3, 4, fold, 1, 2, 3, 4, fold, pinky by itself at the top, fold. It's a little awkward folding on the way back down, by the way. Now, one at a time, I like to encourage you to have a U shape here between your thumb and first finger. This allows the thumb to fold under a little bit more easily. If your hand is straight like this, then your thumb has a really far way to go. But somehow when we make this U shape, it seems a little bit smaller. So now let's play it one at a time here. Folding. As soon as your thumb is done playing, now 4 is going to fold over. Try to keep the U shape if you can. Okay, now first inversion, remember same fingers on same keys. So instead of starting with a thumb, we're going to start with a clump, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Thumb under, clump, thumb under, clump, thumb under, and then single note at the top. Fold, clump, fold, clump. Same thing, the thumb's going to get ready to fold right away. Fold over. Now, second inversion, we're going to start here on Re or A, and we're going to have a mini clump first, just 2 fingers, 3 and 4, clump, single, then full clump, fold, clump, single, 2, 3 at the top, full clump, full clump. Here we go, folding right away. Go for that U shape. Now for our third inversion, we're going to start with a single note here. Remember, same fingers for the notes for the whole arpeggio. So we're starting a single note here on Fa or C. Thumb comes right under, then our clumping. And then we're going to end with a clump here. Pinky doesn't get to play at the top. Fold. And end on 4. One at a time. Quick fold. By the way, going up is easier than going down with the right hand. So now let's do the other way of fingering. And in this way, we're going to start with 1 on all of them except for the first inversion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then in this one, we're going to start with 2 and then immediately come underneath. And then second inversion, right where we are actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then third inversion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So let's do the same thing here. Our root position is going to feel exactly the same. So we have root, clump, fold, root, clump, pinky at the top, clump, 1, fold, 1, fold. We've already done this one, but I'll do it again. Watch for the U shape and the quick fold, quick fold. Okay, so now when we move to the first inversion, we're going to put this D or so on the top. And I already talked about the finger, 2, 1, 2, 3. The other thing I want to mention now that we're switching up the fingering is you're going to notice a second in here. The other way we always did the same fingers for that second. This second is the inversion of the 7th. So now you have to kind of remember, where is that second? Which fingers have the second? So in this case, we're going to start with 2 and 1, then 2 and 3 have that second, and then we'll clump 2, 3, and 4. Larger fold here. Really keep that U shape, and then we're going to end with a clump on the top. Fold. The fold isn't too bad when you have that black key in there, actually. Because even though this interval is a third, a minor third, because your 4th finger is on a black key, it doesn't make the fold under so bad. You'll see what I mean when we do one at a time. Fold. And it makes it very convenient to fold over. You don't have to go as far. Now, we basically just done this fingering. Now it's just going to be organized a little bit differently. So now we'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, fold, 2, 3, 4, clump, clump, and with your pinky this time, a little bit of a stretch between 3 and 4. One at a time. So third inversion, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's probably the hardest. So you got the second with a short finger and a long finger. Got to think about that. And then this is just a little bit of a stretch here, and then you're coming under a third, and we don't have a black key to come under this time. Okay, so let's do the clumping. Here we go. Single, clump, under, single, clump. Big stretch here on this one. Be patient with yourself if you have small hands. This is hard for me, and I have big hands. All right, one at a time. Thumb under. So with the left hand, same exact thing. Way number 1, same fingers on same key. So D or so in this key will always be with pinky or thumb, and then the rest will be 4, 3, 2. And we'll just start at different spots. So left hand, clumping, 4, 3, 2, fold with 4, fold, end with 1, clump, thumb folds under, you might notice in my clumps, I'm waiting a little bit longer at the end, and that's just so you can really feel the contact between where it folds under. Okay, now one at a time. Fold. Keep that nice U shape if you can. Our first inversion, clump, single note, clump, single note, clump, single note. Here, technically, you would cross with 4, but at the top, sometimes you can also cross with 2. So that's what I'm going to do here, 2, and then 1, single note, clump, fold, single, clump, fold, single, clump. One at a time. Fold, fold, 2 at the top. Okay, now we're going to start with a mini clump. Remember, same fingers on same key, so 3 on A, 2 on C. Here we go. Mini clump, single note, then 4, 3, 2, single, 4, 3, 2, single, and then we'll have 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. One at a time. And then finally, third inversion, we start with a single note and another single, then clump, single, clump, single, end with a clump, then we're going to fold right away, clump, end with 2, one at a time, here we go. And finger 2. And then our final segment of the video is mixing up the fingering a little bit with the left hand here. So we're going to start with 5. And the next one we will start with 4. But then all the rest with 5. So just like we did with our right hand, we're going to try to keep track of where that second is, because except for the first inversion, it will be with 2 fingers that are next to each other, and there will also be a larger stretch somewhere. So root position, we've already done it, but let's do it again. So we've got single, block, single, block, single, block, thumb, block, fold, fold, and then one at a time. Hopefully this is feeling more comfortable after all these times. Easy to fold under that black key with finger 4. Now, first inversion, it's going to feel just like that, actually. So we start with a clump, 1, crossover, 4, 3, 2. And just like before, you can cross with 2 at the top. Thumb under, one at a time. Now, here's where it will change up. Now we're going to start with finger 5. So this is what I was talking about, feeling where's the second, which is again the inverted 7th. The second and the 7th are the same harmony. So we'll have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'll start with a single note, then clump. Now we're going to cross over a third for that clump. Ending with thumb. Thumb under, a little different this time because you're going under a white key. One at a time. And then finally, we're on our last one. We are going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's possible that this feels the most spread out. It does to me. So we've got that big stretch here. Again, our second is between two fingers. One's a lot longer than the other. So sometimes that can be a little bit awkward. Anyway, so let's try the blocking first. Blocking 2, 3, 4. Then cross over. Just crossing over a whole step though. So in this one, the stretches are more in the arpeggio itself rather than the crossunders. And then one at a time. Keep the U shape if you can. And then we're back where we started. So we are just covering hands separately in this video, but at this point you could probably start investigating hands together. And I say that because the first way we kept the same notes on the same fingers, so everything would feel the same. And then way number 2, the one that was different for both hands was the second one, which would be looking like this. So they would kind of take turns when they cross. And then second inversion, we have the same fingering, both hands. And then third inversion again, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It just feels different because of the pinky and the fourth finger and then the thumb. But the crosses happen at the same place. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you will subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I thank you for watching. And if you write to me in the comments, please let me know where you're from. I love to see greetings from all over the world, and I really appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching.